Welcome to the official YouTube channel Marvel Services. We are always trying to give you most trending news around the globe. In this episode we will discuss about Canadian Open Work Permit. Complete information about the Canadian Open Work Permit, including benefits, application requirements, and documents needed, and frequently asked questions. To be able to work in Canada, everyone from outside the country needs a work permit. Work permits combine a visa and a permit that are both given concurrently. There are many different kinds of work permits, but an open work permit is one that is frequently asked for. What exactly is a Canada Open Work Permit? A work permit that is open to all jobs is known as an open work permit or an international mobility program for Canada. The open work permit allows you to switch employers while the permit is still in effect, unlike other work permits, which are only provided for the purpose of employment with a single employer. For as long as 6 months, if you are applying as a temporary foreign worker, you may work in Canada. You are permitted to switch employers during this time as long as your new employer is recognized by the Canadian government and isn't engaged in activities that aren't permitted by the government. In contrast to other work permits, the open work permit exempts you from providing the following data. 1. A labor market impact assessment, LMIA, report that would be required by your employer. 2. Any evidence that your employer has paid the employer compliance fee or offered an offer to you through the employer portal. What are the types of open work permits? There are different conditions under which you can get an open work permit. It may be completely unrestricted or have some restrictions as the Canadian consulate sees fit. In general, there are 3 types of open work permits. 1. Unrestricted work permits which allow you to change employers, occupation, and the location of work. 2. Restricted work permits which allow you to change employer but do not allow you to change your occupation. 3. Restricted work permits which allow you to change employer but do not allow you to change the location of work. The decision on what type of open work permits to issue you is up to the officer at the Canadian consulate based on the documents that you submit when you apply. What are the requirements for the Canada Open Work Permit? To be eligible for an open work permit, you must fulfill several sets of criteria. One of the sets of requirements is on your situation as to whether you can apply for the permit or not. You can only apply for an open work permit if you are in one of the following groups. 1. A temporary resident permit holder. 2. An international student who has graduated from a Canadian education institution and is eligible for a post-graduation work permit. 3. A student who cannot afford the cost of their studies. 4. A person who has applied for permanent residence in Canada. 5. A family member of a person who has applied for permanent residence in Canada. 6. A spouse or common law partner of an international student or skilled worker. 7. A refugee, protected person, refugee, claimant, or a family member. 8. A young worker in special programs. As a temporary worker, you must meet the eligibility criteria of the temporary visa in order to qualify for the open work permit. In addition, you must also fulfill the following requirements. 1. You must prove that you will leave Canada after your work permit expires. 2. You must prove that you can finance your stay and your family's stay in Canada and that you have enough funds to go back to your home country. 3. You must prove that you have a clean criminal record. 4. You must prove that you are not a threat to the national security of Canada. 5. You must be in good health. 6. You must be willing to respect the conditions of your open work permit even if the officer issues a restricted one. 7. You must prove that you will not work for an employer that offers striptease, erotic dance, erotic massage, or escort services. You can also apply for an extension of the open work permit or for your first open work permit from inside Canada if you meet these requirements. 1. You have a Canadian study permit or an open work permit that will expire soon. 2. You have a degree from a Canadian education institution. 3. You are a temporary resident of Canada. 4. You are awaiting the decision on your application for refugee status. 5. You already have refugee or protected person status. 6. Your application to get refugee status was denied, but you cannot leave Canada for reasons beyond your control. How to apply for an open work permit? The open work permit application process has several steps which you must go through, as follows. Once you have the job and get the open work permit, you will have the chance to switch employers, but in order to be able to send an open work permit application, you will need the job. Apply for the visa and work permit. If you meet all the requirements and have a job offer from a Canadian employer, then you can apply for the visa and the work permit. The application must be done through the Canadian consulate in your home country. You must go through the following steps. Create an account or submit a paper application. You have the option of applying online through the Government of Canada website using your credentials or your bank account information. Otherwise, you can apply by sending in your documents as hard copies. Submit the application forms, which include 1. M1295 application for work permit made outside of Canada. 2. Schedule 1 application for temporary resident visa. 3. M5645 family information form. 4. M5409 statutory declaration of common law union, if applicable. 5. M5476 use of representative form, if applicable. 6. M5475 authority to release personal information to a designated individual, if applicable, submit. Supporting documents, which include 1. Your passport, which must be valid for more than 6 months after your planned date of entry into Canada. 2. A photocopy of your passport and all its pages. 3. 2 photos as per the photo requirements. 4. Valid job offer from your employer. 5. Proof of current immigration status, if your country of residence is different from your country of citizenship. 6. Police record certificates. 7. Your resume or CV. 8. Your education diplomas and certificates. 9. Copy of your marriage certificate, if applicable. 10. Copy of children's birth certificates, if applicable. 11. If you will be working in Quebec, you need a certificate d'acceptation du Québec, CAQ. 12. Any other documents that the Consulate of Canada requires. 13. Complete the medical examination. It is best if you go through the medical exam to prove that you are in good health. You can do so at any licensed doctor, which can sign the documents for you after you go through the necessary tests. If you do not have a medical exam, you will not be allowed to work in child care, primary or secondary school teaching, health service occupations, or agricultural occupations. In order not to limit your choices of jobs, it is recommended to complete the medical exams. 14. Attend the visa interview. The officials of the Canadian consulate might want to interview you to determine that you will return to your home country once your open work permit expires and that you have been truthful in your application. You must attend the interview at the appointed time and answer any questions that they ask you. They might also ask for you to give your biometric information after the interview, which you must do. Wait for processing. When you submit the application, documents, medical examination records, and complete the interview, you will then wait for processing. The Open Work Permit Canada processing time can be from 3 to 27 weeks depending on your country of citizenship. After this time passes, you will get a decision from the Canadian consulate. Travel to Canada. If your open work permit is approved by the consulate, you can make travel and accommodation arrangements in Canada. When you land in Canada, the port of entry, PO, officers will stop you for checking. They will check your documents and ask questions about your purpose of visit and how long you will be in Canada. Give them all your documents and answer all the questions, since they have the authority to not let you into the country if they suspect you are not being truthful. At the end of your videos, we will encourage our viewers to leave reviews. Thanks for watching this video, and do comment on this video and stay tuned for our next update about current trendings and top